It's called a promo,
Shut
kid.
your
And
mouth,
if you want to
John.
be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it. So go ahead.
You ready? No! I said, are you ready?
That was good. Glad you finally decided to pull that giant stick out of your butt and have some fun for once in your life.
You're uneducated marks! You sit there on your phones tweeting out your opinions like they're worth a damn. Let me explain something to you people. You don't know shit!
And I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better after Vince McMahon's death.
If it turns out that entering this Continental Classic tournament was a bad idea,
Let's go.
I won't find out until it's too late. I'm banged up.
Got that business
Maybe the
card
last
box.
4 years is finally catching up with me because nobody's done it.
It doubles as a phone
Anyone in the
holder.
world like I do it
Go.
over the last 4 years. My head hurts, my neck hurts, my back hurts, now my knee hurts. Getting that tingliness in my fingers now all the time.
Me too, minus the
I
tingliness.
live in pain on a day-to-day basis like most people couldn't even imagine. Now on top of that, I feel like my head's not screwed on straight all the time lately. I got doctors prescribing me this medication and that medication. And I'm just sick of it all. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Me too.
I'm sick and tired of being pissed off at my body failing me. I'm sick and tired of being depressed. I'm sick and
Same.
tired of being pissed off about the entire last year. I'm just sick and tired of being pissed off.
Come on.
So
Testify.
I'm gonna do the only thing I know how to do, the only thing I've ever been good at.
No, you're fine.
I'm gonna wrestle my way out of it. I'm gonna fight my way out of it.
Far away from here. Get me over here.
I'm gonna put every ounce, every drop of sweat and effort and will I have into winning this Continental Classic tournament. This kind of thing, this is what AEW was built on, man.
Dude, I'm fired up
Two
right now.
guys in the ring, the best wrestlers in the world, giving it their all, feeling that feeling of when you've given every ounce of yourself in the ring and pushing the limits and pushing the boundaries and making the people stand up and go, oh my God, what did I just see?
Oh
Feeling
my
that
God.
connection with the audience that loves wrestling as much as we
Oh
do.
my
That's
God.
what AEW is about.
By God.
Somebody's got to step up
Jim
and win
Ross.
this tournament and show the world
I need the
exactly
JR
what AEW is, exactly what
Charges
all elite
a lot.
wrestling can be.
It's a lot to
That's just
book
gonna have to be
JR.
me. Because anybody can say whatever they want, but I'm the ace of the world, bitch, and that's just the way it is.
Ace of the world, bitch.
There is nobody
That's definitely one way to
in
put
this
it about
tournament
it.
that can do anything to me. Worse than I deal with on a daily basis. Nothing they can bring to me that's worse than fighting the demons I fight on a daily basis. If
Daily.
you think I'm shot, you think my trigger's been pulled, you think I'm right for the picking, please, take your shot.
Take a shot.
Take a shot every time he says take a shot.
Oh, no. I don't drink, unfortunately. Y'all can play a drinking game out of it. That's not for me. I played that opening clip because John Moxley promos get me fired up. In fact, Dean Ambrose promos get me fired up too. I used to have a playlist of Dean Ambrose promos I would watch to keep me alive. Really gets my blood boiling. Which, as you can see here too, I always keep a John Moxley figure around for strength.
I call it Minimax.
I keep him around. He gives me strength when I need it. I have a lot of wrestling figures I collect, but he's the only one I take out of the box. Figure collecting, I never realized until recent years, is a huge part of wrestling and the wrestling community. And speaking of cool figures, let me show off a little bit. Here's a really cool vintage figure I have. A 1999 WCW Goldberg Head Ringers figure with the World Championship, which will be shown in the video version of this podcast when it's made available. Go ahead, Dylan. Ask me where I got it.
Yo, where'd you get that?
The only place in Odessa, Texas I would have found it. Downtown at Warp Zone Vintage Toys. The best place in the Permian Basin for premier vintage and retro toys. But not just toys. All kinds of unique collectibles spanning from the late 70s to current era. I got a VHS tape from there. A gem. 1996 WCW World War III. I can't stress this enough to you. Warp Zone is the place to go to find some cool stuff here locally. Not just wrestling figures and tapes either. Walking into this store is like a gold mine of nostalgia. TMNT, Power Rangers, an array of comic book heroes and villains, Thundercats, Beetleborgs, dude, Beetleborgs. They got Turbo Man action figures just in time for the holiday season. It really is endless, the nostalgic dive you take going into this store. Great owners, super friendly, super involved in the local community. Go and check them out here at 415 North Grant in downtown Odessa, Texas. Again, Warp Zone Vintage Toys and Collectible, the official sponsor of today's episode. And that said, we are diving right in.
Let's go. It's time to get... Never mind, I'm not going to make that joke.
We start off our week with Collision as always, which I actually did a little like Collision review this morning because I noticed by the time we get to this week, Collision is so far in the back of my mind.
Yeah, you're like, what happened on Collision?
Wait, why did I even write this note to begin with? But luckily we have a tournament that we're basing everything off of, and Brody King advances in the Continental Classic, beating Claudio in the opener. I wasn't happy about it.
I don't know what they're doing with Brody.
Claudio.
It's Brody just gonna...
Some people seem to win. Some people are like, he's winning it all.
I didn't see that going in, but, I mean, 2 wins to start is definitely not a bad... that's not a bad prediction after that, but, hey, he's got, what, 3 more matches? Anything can change?
And his girly friend, Julia Hart, makes her presence known to Abaddon. They're like running a thing with her and Abaddon now, which I think is kind of cool.
My note here is creeper girls be creeping.
Oh, creeper girls be creeping.
Creepy girls be creep. It doesn't matter.
I thought you said creeper.
I didn't. That's gonna come back up again on NXT, by the way.
Oh no. I see how I was trying to put the puzzle pieces together. Okay, I'm turning Goldberg to the side. He's staring right into my soul. Shout out to Warp Zone again. He's making my head ring. Andrade wins a clean technical bout against Daniel Garcia, who wrestled on Rampage as well.
Daniel Garcia being a workhorse, and I feel super
Bryan
bad.
Danielson, like he did the exact same thing.
Yeah, but I feel bad for Daniel because, I mean, as we'll find out here later, he gets no breaks.
No breaks. No mistakes.
Tons of mistakes,
dude,
but no breaks.
This is the first time I've ever been excited for a Wardlow anything. Wardlow or Willie Mack challenged Wardlow. I think it's made official.
That should be nice. I think at this point I like Willie Mack more than I like Wardlow, but
yeah, Willie Mack legend, Ring of Honor legend. Dude, don't even get me started on Ring of Honor. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Remember?
Yet.
Another challenge, which this match has already kind of happened. It was spoiled online. A lot of people have been posting around this video and complaining, too. A lot of people have been about this video surfacing of Ethan Page and Kenny Omega. But egoless Ethan Page, no longer all Ethan, or all ego Ethan Page.
Yeah, I mean...
Challenges Kenny Omega.
I was really thrown off by that. I was like, wait, you're punching a little bit above your weight here, buddy.
Yeah, he challenges Kenny Omega. Kenny accepts, which I didn't watch the video myself because I don't want to spoil it.
I didn't know that was spoiled either.
Yeah, a video posted online. I don't remember who it was that originally posted it, but it went all around. They were trying to show off like the lack of attendance there because it was a TV taping for Collision,
and because people love to bring up attendance. It doesn't matter.
Dude, people were watching Kenny Omega wrestle. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so tired.
I'm there for Kenny Omega, not the rest of these socialites. Okay, I'm not even gonna get started on attendance. Intense main event with Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston fucking hitting the shit out of each other.
That moment, I think everyone posted that clip too, where Eddie's about to lose, and he's just like, no.
Dude, I've been bitching for months that I want to see Bryan Danielson wrestle in this last year, and I put it in my notes too. I was like, I'm hoping to see him pick up another win during my trip to the DFW this next week.
Yeah,
but he's gonna be at Ring of Honor. So
that's amazing.
Slap on the wrist. I'm talking about Ring of Honor again, but I'm going to be there at Final Battle, and I get to see Bryan Danielson.
I feel like Ring of Honor is part of AEW. I feel like it is.
A lot of people look at it like the NXT
it's the
AEW.
It's the NXT of AEW, especially now that they're blurring the lines between NXT and WWE.
Especially since they're running Rampage into the ground. Which this past week wasn't bad. There's just nothing there other than they had good wrestling.
I feel like they don't ever put any like important storyline progress on that show.
Hop on over to the Feds. Good old Feds. I'm going to Raw. I'm getting Raw. Good opening match there, too. I think here's one note to make for the whole week. Every show had a great opening match.
Heck yeah.
Every show. Didn't need too much of a storyline, just Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre putting on a quality wrestling match, and that's always noteworthy in itself. The attack backstage afterwards, however, they're building something with them. Again. They're doing it again.
I think I read online that Sammy requested some time off.
I'm not opposed to that because I've seen Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre like 50 times.
Yeah, so I think that's what's going on there.
A little fun fact here for a local fact.
Let's go.
Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn was the last main event of Ector County Coliseum WWE live event. After that and the amount of tickets they couldn't sell anymore here, they stopped coming to Odessa. I found this out. Because of how low the attendance was for the last live event 2 summers ago, which was Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre.
An Ector County street fight.
Yeah. And I've seen that Odessa street fight. And
it was an Odessa street fight, my bad.
I've seen it 5 times over, and I've seen not a bad one yet. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho was my first one. Wow. Yeah. I've seen some cool shit there, but I didn't go to that one because I was in South Padre doing the actual fun shit. I had bought the $30 tickets to go, too, and I was like, I don't mind missing this one.
That stinks. I know that's one of my bucket list things me and my brother have, going to a show like that. But
yeah. Well, if they have a 2 out of 3 falls match like they did on Raw with DIY and Imperium, maybe they could sell some tickets.
Finally, DIY gets something.
Something?
Like, I was thinking they were actually... I was kind of thinking Imperium was actually going to beat them and like...
I did too.
But nope.
This is one of those situations. I'm rooting for one team and predicting another to win. WWE turning what I deem the 2 biggest letdowns in WrestleMania history into a storyline, and I'm fucking into this.
I am into it as well. Nakamura, Cody, such a good possible... into this. It's also a good... they have a lot of time to kill before the Rumble, so it's a good, I call it a filler, but it's not filler. It's gold.
It's a feeler, because I'm feeling it. Rollins retains, of course, but makes Jey Uso look great, of course, too.
Yes.
Speaking of which, his dad's on the TV. Rikishi's fat ass.
Oh, my God.
We're watching, just for a little background context, as per usual, our DVD of the day is Tribute to the Troops 2004. And all we're looking at right now is the camera up close on Rikishi's ass. So
why?
Picture that while you're watching the rest of the episode. The whole video version will just be that picture for an hour. Good main event, though. Main event, Jey Uso. Any more Raw notes?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention a couple of things.
Go for it.
I don't remember what... One of the women's... The tag match felt very off. But Kaden and Katana got a win, finally.
I'm glad you bring this up. Here's my note for that I didn't even write. I missed it. I literally got up, went to the bathroom, took a leak, came back, and it was on the next segment. I cannot...
Was it that short?
I believe it was 2 minutes.
Decently I feel like it was longer. I know they got... It fell off because everything was moving so weirdly. And
It was a lot faster than you think.
The thing about Kaden and Katana is they have really good tag team moves. That's their whole shtick, really. They're party girls and they have good tag team moves. And the only move that looked really good this time around was the ending move, which is they call it the keg stand, where Katana gets on Kaden's shoulders and does like a flip.
Move. It is a good looking move. I've seen it previously, but I didn't get to see it on Raw because I was peeing.
That's terrible.
I've seen them live on Dark Match though.
Oh,
remember that? I was like, hey, they're on this Dark Match on SmackDown.
Nia had a good match. Question mark. I feel like it was kind of good.
Here's my issue. Who did she wrestle? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
See, you think she had a good match, but you can't remember it. Even
I was into it at the time. Yeah, is the thing, but like
it'd be like that. You watch a lot of wrestling during the week. You gotta realize.
Was it Zoe Was it Zoe this week, or was that last week?
Here, I'm going to give you a little crutch, a little backbone.
While he's doing that, one of the other notes I have about the women is that Cole mentioned Piper's indie name, Viper. Instead of Piper for a second. I don't know if that was on purpose.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, he called her Viper, which was her indie name. So, like, I don't know if that was on purpose or... Because, you know, he likes to throw in and make it seem like he knows what he's talking about.
I left you alone.
Yeah,
I literally walked out the room and left you alone. That's probably the funniest thing I've ever done on this show all season was while you were talking about that, I went up and got some coffee.
And Rock was in an Acorns commercial during, at least on my viewing, he was in an Acorns commercial.
He owns that company.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if he's a partial owner or a full owner, but...
That's amazing. I mean, I just think it's funny that he's doing everything but be involved in the bloodline. It's great.
There we go. I could not get the Raw results to pop up. It was trying to give me next week, and I'm
All
like,
right.
well, next week hasn't
We'll
happened.
try and get through this a little quickly because we got a lot to talk about.
I know. NXT is packed. Becky Lynch wants to call out Nia Jax.
I'm not looking
Dude.
forward to that, but a lot of people are. I mean, I get the story and everything, but...
Good job, Nia Jax. We applaud you. But bomb opening match that sees a lot of action, and Fallon Henley winning the last chance 4-way to qualify for the Iron Survivor Challenge.
So...
A bomb. Everybody had a good opener.
They did, and I didn't... I think Fallon...
Oh, it's hot.
I was kind of going for Fallon because I didn't want the same people from last year in the matches. And I feel like Roxanne was the shoo-in. But they're continuing this feud with her and Kiana, which now they're going to be in a steel cage match at Deadline. Solid.
They're setting Deadline up really well. I'm excited to watch Deadline this evening. And what the fuck moment as Wesley announces he's injured again. I thought this was a word.
I thought so too. The way, okay,
I honestly thought it was
no
a word.
offense to Wesley, but I thought he was hamming it up for a second. And I thought like he was trying to fool Dominic, and Dominic was going to come out and be like, well, and then Wesley was going to be like, psych, throw down the crutches, beat him up.
I 100% thought this was a work that he was exactly what you just described. It fucked me up. I was like, no way he's actually injured again and out for what looks to be 10 to 12 months.
I believe I saw 8 to 12 months. It's sad. Like, he just got back.
8 if you're John Cena and a fucking bionic robot that comes back from shoulder injuries after 4 months.
So, and this is what I deem, he was replaced by what I now deem as the replacement. The replacement.
Right? He's literally the fill-in guy for everything.
Dragon Lee.
First alternate.
Wesley's long-lost brother.
Which announced by Rey Mysterio.
Which makes sense. Both
he'll be there.
Both in storyline and because he said he's the future of Lucha Libre, so yeah.
The future of Lucha Libre is Vikingo, but that's another conversation for another day.
He's the future of Lucha Libre in WWE.
Okay, I'll accept it. Unless they
won't.
Men's breakout tournament announced. Gonna treat that like the women's tournament and wait until finals time to really talk about it.
I do want to go ahead and say that going into this, there's maybe again like 3 people I'm familiar with. I don't know who's gonna win. I don't see any of them being viable.
I can't remember everybody's name either, but somebody had the name like Bear Claw, and I was like, this is something I can get behind.
That guy, I had never seen him before either.
Never, but I'm his biggest fan now.
Let's go.
Dude. We'll talk about the tournament in full when it gets closer to the finals, but it is cool to see that they're doing a men's one, which I've never gone on record with this opinion, but I should. I love Metaphor's entrance.
A lot of people do. I don't hate it. It's not my thing.
I've never gone on record.
I like Noam Dar though.
Metaphor and Alpha Academy turned out to be a really quality match. One of the best matches on the card, in my opinion.
Honestly, yeah. I mean,
and Maxine Dupree looked really good in that match.
Yeah, and now
really good.
They've announced that next week she's going to be facing Rhea in a non-title match. But still, like to put her in that position, it's kind of scary, but at the same time, it's good for her.
You know, it's really scary.
What?
Nikita Lyons returns during Women's Iron Survivor Summit, and fans are not happy about this. Only fans I've seen happy about it were male pigs on the internet.
Okay, here's what do you know the context between why people don't like Nikita?
From my perspective and where I've seen, it's only due to the fact that she has a very lazy in-ring ability and is...
The reason I didn't like her...
Fight for her ass.
I'm not going... Well, I don't know if I should go on record on saying that. Let's just say she has some opinions that I don't agree with. We'll go with that.
And see, that much I didn't know. I just knew it was the thing of, like, the marks don't like her because she has an ass.
I'll tell you later. But I don't want to go on record saying it here because
wow.
I don't want to get political.
Wow.
But
Nikita Lyons in the hot seat.
But, yeah, she's back. Good for her.
Male pigs on the internet are having a field day. That's all I've seen.
We have Carmen and she's better.
Now, here's the field day all the marks are having on the positive side. Tyler Bate wins the last chance four-way. Finally,
he gets something.
We couldn't be happier about it. We here at Wrestling in the Middle could not be happier about Tyler Bate, the big strong boy, qualifying and winning it all.
If I didn't think he was going to be the mystery person in the United States tournament, I would have had him to win the Iron Survivor.
No, I hope he wins it all anyway. Ilya's crazy cord snapped, and I think he's going to fuck Corbin up at Deadline, like legitimately fuck him up.
I think he's going to kill the poor man.
Dude, he literally... I cannot get out of my head. He was about to just fucking slit his throat, and then he said, hug.
I'm going to hug the man.
Sadistic smile.
I love it.
Because he knows.
You know what else I love? Creepy girls creeping. You didn't mention it, so I'm going to have to mention it.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Tatum Paxley got 2 segments. One where she's just, like, creeping up on Lyra. That was funny. And then she had that match with... I can't even remember who she fought. All I cared about was Tatum. She's really coming together in this character that she's kind of like this creepy girl. And I'm starting to see parallels with... I'm afraid that people are going to say she's like a budget Sky Blue. But from what I've seen, Tatum can wrestle really well.
It's more like a navy blue.
A navy blue. All right. Excited to see where it goes, though. Also, I'm curious to see where the whole Joe Gacy thing goes.
I wondered if you're going to bring that up or not, too.
I
wondered.
I
thought about it.
I like Joe Gacy. I feel like he's got a look, and he's pretty good in the ring, too. It's just they haven't given him anything, like, character-wise that really sticks.
It's because he's still trying to do the Sami Callihan shtick. But again, I'm not trying to just, like, talk shit about him or say that he's ripping him off. I just know, like, a lot of wrestlers draw inspiration and parallel similarities to other wrestlers in their promos, and his is just too close to that right now for me.
That's fair.
I've explained that a couple times. Another great opener on Dynamite. I cannot stop bragging about every show having a good opener. Which another thing I haven't really mentioned that I kind of wanted to mention this week before I even hop back over to AEW. I'm really, really pleased with WWE's ability lately here in the recent month to start appealing to what I believe is their core audience, no longer appealing to the kid PG section of the audience, the merch selling of the audience. I feel like they're really starting to appeal to the hardcore marks and shit. Like, they're really starting to put together quality matches, and they're basing less of the storylines around cheesy gimmicky shit and more about just being good quality product. And I don't know, I've really been... You have that, and then you have things like the Ruby Angelo thing that I still have no idea where it's going. One could argue then that AEW is starting to get a little too cheesy and gimmicky with some of their storylines. Like, it feels like WWE has narrowed its gap. Like, it still has cheesy stuff, obviously. Yeah. But it's not as... NXT had a lot of cheesy stuff. NXT has cheesy stuff from, like, because it's a developmental system show still. Like, a lot of times, especially when it comes to the on-the-mic stuff, if you notice, a lot of the on-the-mic stuff doesn't really hold up to a caliber every time. And that's because a lot of these superstars are just getting their legs under them. I mean, I get that. I mean,
The only thing I would admit is cheesy. That was the Chase Hugh thing. That's why I didn't mention it this
Perfect
week.
example.
Because I'm kind of like not into it anymore. So, yeah, and the AEW now has this hardcore on one side, but a couple of the other storylines are on the way other side. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
What am I watching? I don't understand.
I hope they get back around to getting that gripping shit, which at least they're putting on good quality matches.
Yeah,
Got a
well, I feel
banger.
like you need a little bit of that to appeal to some. You don't have to appeal to the whole audience, but variety is always good.
Yeah. Banger, as I was just saying, Continental Classic tournament match between Roosh and Jon Moxley. Roosh wasn't happy with the finish, and how Moxley picked up the win.
I wouldn't be either. I'm really high on Roosh right now, and I'm really sad that he's done, basically.
He's not winning the tournament. But the two leaders on that side, Swerve Strickland and Jon Moxley, are facing next week. And
Yeah.
you know I'm going to be there live, and I'm going to be in the ring.
That. Oh, my God.
I'm going to be in the ring with them.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna swerve when you drive?
Yes. ROH legend Roderick Strong ditches the wheelchair that's been holding him back.
I feel like this is a metaphor for Adam Cole. What if he's finally about to be like, you know what, Adam, I don't need you. You're not my friend. F you.
I don't know. We gotta figure this devil shit out before we can even get there. Which I'm gonna get to see Roderick Strong wrestle next week too. I've seen him wrestle before. I will never forget the fucking Falls Count Anywhere match I got to witness and being a part of where he pinned Chris Jericho. Oh, man. That's my favorite show still, that Austin show. MJF made a Memberberry reference during incredibly fun banter between him and Far From Milquetoast Hangman Adam Page. Far From Milquetoast.
I call him the Hanged Man, Adam Page, because he's kind of the Hanged Man.
I was like, what?
If you know your tarot cards, you kind of... yeah.
That just meant he was hung. I was like, what?
No, it's like someone who's kind of like suffering and they have a lot of things going wrong for them. But
a lot of people want him and MJF to square off, and I want it too.
We'll see how much longer we have to get that done.
Could he be the devil? Like, let's just keep adding more people.
Okay, they keep adding people, and it just keeps making me think it's MJF.
Dude, it's literally
totally MJF.
It's Adam Cole, and it's Britt Baker, and it's the Hangman, and it's Jungle Boy Jack Perry. He's Jungle Boy again.
I was about to say.
It's 2003 John Cena, and it's Rikishi.
Rikishi's butt,
dude.
For more specifics.
My new prediction is that the Devil Crew is just a all-star cast.
What if they still don't actually have it nailed down?
It's fucking
And
Chris Jericho.
What if they come up with it like the last day, like the day before? They're like, okay, this is who it actually is 100%.
There's people who still think it's CM Punk.
No.
Swerve Strickland beats Mark Briscoe in another quality Continental Classic
Poor
match.
Mark, man.
I know. He's for sure not winning it now. Like, he cannot win it mathematically, but he can still throw a wrench in it. You know, he can pick up an upset win that'll fuck somebody up. MJF seemingly attacked before the mystery tag match with a broken bottle. Could it, like, this is what I put in my notes, so let me just go ahead and read it off. Could it now be Hangman, who is the devil? New possibility there. More interest.
I mean, I feel like that's why I feel like they're just stalling. They're stalling and stalling and stalling because they don't know and they're gonna figure it out on the fly, or who they do have hasn't signed yet, or whatever.
Hasn't even signed yet. Okada isn't on the roster. It's not Okada.
I've joked about it being Okada.
We've heard him talk. It's not Okada.
Yeah.
But
well, what if that was just a swerve though when I drive?
I predicted weeks ago we'd get the reveal at World's End. Now that I'm going to be there live all week next week, I'm going to hope that it's next week. They just reveal it.
That would be sick.
Just out of the blue, like, oh, by the way, winter's coming. I'm the devil. Here I am.
That wouldn't make sense.
Toni Storm getting the Turner Classic Movies guy to do her intro.
Let's go.
And also on this Wednesday, she shows in the ring she's still more than just a gimmick.
Yeah.
She's more than just a gimmick. She can actually wrestle. Now, here's my fucking favorite part. This is where I popped. Rio returns.
It's always Riho. Think about it. It's always Riho. When they don't have anything else, they're just like, all right, Riho, we need
Call
you.
her.
We need you to save the division.
She does every time. Dude, she was going off on Instagram too. She was going through Instagram questions, and she was like saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna get the TBS title one of these days, but I'm focused on the world title right now." Or she was also just making like trollish comments too. But
Dang, Riho a troll. Let's go.
I love it. Asuka also does that too. Asuka
does it all the time. I see
It's
it.
fucking hilarious. Jay Forever chance in the Jay versus Jay Continental Classic tournament match.
I really wanted Jay to win, but unfortunately Jay lost. So
No, Jay wins. That's what I had. I thought Jay won.
Jay also won. Yeah, but he lost.
Do with that what you will. Main event delivered, and surprisingly, I myself didn't see a lot of criticism on it. Most people just enjoyed it as wrestling fans, as they should, I think.
What? Oh yeah.
Was,
I had to
Christian
think about
and
it for a
Edge.
second.
Sorry, I should have added more context.
I missed the big chunk of it. Is the thing.
Yeah, the main event delivered. I mean, they really hyped up that TNT title match well, and
the only thing that I think I got from that was what I thought was gonna happen. Nick Wayne's mom comes in.
You saw that? Because I certainly didn't.
You didn't see the part where Nick Wayne's mom comes in and is like, yeah, you think she's going to hit Christian, but no, she's going to hit the guy that literally smashed her child's head in.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
She has a reason now. She has a motive. I'm just not sure how I feel about Nick Wayne being this involved in her son's job. I don't know if that's healthy.
That's probably not.
I wanted Edge to be TNT champion so badly, man.
Don't we all?
I get it was a stretch. I get it was a stretch. I'm excited for Winter is Coming.
I'm excited for you.
I know. I've been to Winter is Coming 2 years in a row now, which I'm not sad. I'm not thinking I'm getting a worse card this year, but last year I got to see MJF defend both the Dynamite Diamond Ring and his title against Ricky Starks, and like that, I want something like that again.
Wow, that did happen last year.
I want MJF and Hangman Adam Page in the main event. But I'm sure John Moxley's Swerve Strickland will be the main event.
It will, and it will go hard.
Rampage also had a good opener, like everything else. Good quality wrestling, but the only note I had from Rampage was Danielson picks up Continental Classic tournament win over Daniel Garcia, who didn't dance once. He never danced. He just got beat up by Bryan Danielson.
Poor Daniel. That's my note.
This was a treat for me personally. I don't know how other people feel about it. I got the treat of JBL on commentary for the night on SmackDown.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I was telling you earlier, which I'll tell the people a little bit. Last night, a friend of mine came over with his brother, and turns out, unbeknownst to me, I was about to have this conversation. His brother was a soldier stationed in Iraq, and he was a part of the 2009 Tribute to the Troops, which, in the moment, I didn't even realize I was talking to him on the same night that WWE was having
Tribute to the Troops.
Yeah. So he told me some really cool stories. He was telling me stories about the Big Show and John Cena and meeting Vince McMahon and just all these crazy things I did not expect to hear.
It's really cool that happens.
So, on SmackDown, Santos Escobar advances in the U.S. title tournament.
I know watching, the people I was watching with, they were like, why didn't Lee get to look a little bit better? And I think the reason is because they're trying to make sure we don't have another Lee out before a title match.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think he was going to win either way, but I think they held back a little bit so that Lee didn't get injured.
Oh, sorry, did I interrupt you?
Oh, and Dom is disgusting.
He's dirty.
Yeah.
Also was dirty, but also funny to me. Karrion Kross returns to job out to Lashley.
That was... I don't know, what do you do with Karrion at this point? Like...
Just let him keep doing that, I guess. Come back every 4 months and...
Job?
Get pinned by a Bobby Lashley.
I mean, if he wants to do that, eventually he's going to get tired of it, right?
Say what you say, Bobby Lashley got a pop.
I mean, he did. For one thing, it's yeah, he's a former Army himself, but also it's Bobby Lashley.
It's a tribute to the flutes. we see a CM Punk who came a little more willing to take some shots at some people.
Just a little bit.
Several people in
Yeah.
both companies.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't just go around punching people backstage. I mean, in 2023, that's not right.
This motherfucker, man. It's one of those things where it's like, it burns a little bit, but the man just never stops.
He can't. It's in his DNA.
He's selling tickets. He's selling merch. Literally already sold out on the merch that had to be pre-ordered.
Yeah. What else do I? Oh yeah. I mean, this is a funny note. Actually, it doesn't really correspond to much.
It's been a tough week. Give me some humor.
So, I think what we need to do, instead of having Jimmy involved in the bloodline, we need to have Jimmy versus Channing Stacks Lorenzo.
Okay, Stacks.
Yeah, because they call Jimmy an underboss, which is farther from the truth. So, and Stacks is an underboss, and he's actually been a good underboss. So you just need to have them fight each other, and then Stacks goes over on Jimmy. That's what I want.
I'm a Stacks fan, so I'm with this. I support this, and I stamp it. Okay.
Did you see Asuka versus Charlotte? And you saw Charlotte's a little banged up now?
Yeah, I didn't make a note for it because it didn't really entertain me that much, but I guess that's not very professional of me. They did it for America, and that's what's important.
Yeah, I mean, also the storyline, which I guess that means Charlotte doesn't get a title shot because Asuka won. But also, Charlotte's hurt now, so she couldn't have even had it if she wanted to. What I did find out was that she got hurt in something during the commercial break. Everyone was thinking it was the moonsault.
I didn't know that she got hurt during the commercial break.
Yeah, like she fell off. They were trying to come off the turnbuckle, and she fell. She slipped and fell, and her leg like impaled itself on the ropes. It's not funny. It's actually very horrific. But she's, yeah.
Well, now I'm laughing because of the way you laid that out. It's not funny. It's actually really horrific. Sounds horrific.
That was the week in wrestling. Got done a little quicker than I think we expected to.
I expected to get done that quick. I'm looking down the deadline card now because
I got the poster here. If you wanna
get the whole poster.
Yeah,
I love
that. See if I can.
There's no brightness on your phone.
Yeah, because I keep it down.
I love this.
Battery.
We got pictures. Ah, yes, the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. I know who's gonna win it.
Looking at it, I feel like there's only two choices here: Tiffany and Blair, and I think Tiffany's still got an edge above Blair. So,
nah, being realistic, I see Blair Davenport winning it. I think that's an actual possibility. I think that's something that not a lot of people are expecting.
I would be down for that. I would definitely be down. I do hope they all get a good showing. I know a lot of people are warming up to Lash. I'm
warming down to her. I'm cooling down to her.
I get it. I get why people like her. That's just not my cup of tea.
It's my cup of coffee.
I do like that Fallon's getting more fire in her. Fallon's starting to look like a viable contender. Just needs a little bit more. Kalani's still early, but she still looks solid. So
that's who I'm rooting for. But being an actual prediction, like putting my 100% confirmed prediction out there, I actually have Blair Davenport picked. I see an upset.
That's fair. Now,
I'm not looking forward to Lexis King and
Lexis King and Carmelo. This is a storyline match, in my opinion. This is what I call a storyline match. The match itself won't matter.
Yeah.
It won't matter whether it's good or not. What matters is what comes out of it. So, is Trick going to cost Carmelo? And then Carmelo's going to come back and cost him the Iron Survivor? What's going to happen here?
There's possibilities there. It's just ever since Lexis King on that very first episode of NXT he was on, I just haven't been feeling him, and I can't handle it.
I think people have gone to the ironically liking him phase.
I didn't know anyone was in that phase.
where
The
they
ironic face.
where they're like, he's so bad that they're like, I'm gonna try and push the hell out of this guy, because I don't know, irony. Speaking of irony, somehow it ended up being Dom versus another luchador.
Dominic Mysterio will retain. Although, what if he doesn't retain? What if Dragon Lee wins the North American title?
See, here's the thing. I wasn't sure if Wesley was going to win this match. Because I don't think Wesley can do anything with that title that he hasn't already done.
That's fair. We got one in. That's fair.
So if Wesley wasn't going to win, then I don't see Dragon Lee winning. Especially now that he kind of has a spot cemented on the main roster. But then at this point, who does? There are plenty of candidates, but I don't see anyone that's been in that title picture.
Which you can be on the main roster and hold it, because that's what Dominic Mysterio is doing.
You can. They did change how that works.
WWE just wouldn't do that with Dragon Lee. Sorry to be too blunt. They wouldn't do that with Dragon Lee.
We'll see.
Although, like I said, they've been improving the quality of what they put together, so...
I mean, if anything...
Who am I to talk shit?
I'm going to move down instead of to the right on this. These two are two of the people I saw holding that title.
Nathan Frazier and Axiom.
Nathan Frazier and Axiom, which
I'm excited for this
That's
match.
a pre-show match.
What?
But, yeah, they
I'm
put it on
the turn that way.
But it's still going to go hard.
The disrespect. Why couldn't we put this on the... Okay. I get it. There's more to this storyline between Lexis King and Carmelo Hayes. But come on, man.
This is like their fifth meeting now?
I'm half-ass taking back what I said. And also, I'm full-ass enjoying the DVD match I'm watching while we're recording this episode. We got Tribute to the Troops 2004, like we said earlier. This event was main evented with Eddie Guerrero versus Chris Benoit. Double rest in peace. Well, at the point where Eddie Guerrero puts on the Kevlar vest and soldier helmet, and the ref's like, you can't fucking wear that shit in here. And he's like, oh, come on, man. Eddie Guerrero's a fucking legend, dude.
I love Eddie.
We're going to take literally 45 seconds of the show. That's that period where we're just going to be thankful and grateful that we had Eddie Guerrero in our lives.
Exactly.
I'm not grateful for Baron Corbin. I have no sort of gratefulness for him.
I mean, it's still probably going to be a decently solid match.
Dragunov's going to murder
He's
him.
going to destroy them, though. Yeah.
Who's going to win this men's Iron Survivor Challenge?
I like how you skip the women.
No, we're gonna circle back around.
Okay, so this is one where I'm not sure, right? Okay, I said earlier my prediction for the United States tournament, Tyler Bate. I don't see him winning this and also being in that tournament.
To me, I feel like the winner of this is clear, unless Carmelo Hayes gets involved.
Do you think Trick's winning?
I think Trick's winning. I think they're ready. Now, maybe Braun Breaker is, but I don't... They've done enough with Braun Breaker. I feel like it would be kind of beating a dead horse to do that.
I mean, Braun versus Dragunov has also already happened.
Exactly.
Actually, now that I think about it, all these matches have happened. Dragunov has faced all of these men except for one. And I don't think anyone has Josh Briggs winning the Iron Survivor Challenge.
No one had him entering it either, but look where he's at now.
I get what they're doing now. Josh is also a solid wrestler. He was the final Evolve champion.
Yeah.
So, but by having Fallon and Josh in here, you keep them kind of together, but also now you're making Brooks Jensen look bad. Like, oh, you're the one who doesn't have anything going on. Maybe they're gonna split him up. I know that they've been experimenting some stuff with him, some new looks and changing music at house shows. But
just changing up the formula.
If I were to decide who wins this, just from I want to see this match, it would be Tyler Bate. I want to see Tyler in a...
That's who we're rooting for. The big, strong boy.
I will say...
Big, strong boy.
I like everyone in this match.
Yeah.
Even Dijak. I've already seen Dijak versus Dragunov, but...
The records will always go to show that Dylan likes Dijak.
Yeah, and not T-Bar.
Now, this is where the kickoff match should be. I feel like. Even though, again, I'm not playing down that there's no story there. There is a story there. But I want to see this match with Roxanne Perez down there and see Nathan Frazier and Axiom on the main card just out of respect alone.
That's fair. I feel like because it's a steel cage match, and I'm going to say Cora Jade returns. Cora Jade returns, and does she cost Roxanne? Does she have a face turn and help Roxanne? I don't know. Cora Jade returns.
Cora Jade's been topic lately of conversation.
Yeah.
Because of CM Punk's return.
Well, also, they had a QR code on the podium, I think this last show.
Yeah.
And you take the QR code, and it's literally Cora Jade saying, "See you at Deadline."
Well, there you have it, folks. You
Also,
should have scanned the code.
There were reports that she's going to be backstage, and Izzy Dame's going to be backstage. Izzy Dame is another woman who I think has been doing stuff with Kiana. So maybe, now I'm putting this together off the fly, Izzy tries to help Kiana, so Cora ends up helping Roxanne. That's going to look weird for a second because they were feuding when they left, but maybe there's something there. Or maybe Cora comes after this. Maybe that's a swerve and Cora comes after the Women's Iron Survivor. Or during. Maybe she cost someone. Is the Iron Survivor no disqualification? I don't remember.
I cannot remember. I could barely keep up when they first did this.
This
is one of the hardest matches to keep up with, and I'll admit, at least it's still better than the Championship Scramble. I fucking hated that.
That's fair.
Now, we might end a little early today, that's okay, but before we end anything, I want to announce how our New Year's episode is going to go and how our polling is going to work.
Very importante.
To be a part of this, all you need to do is just go to Twitter or X, whichever you prefer to say these days, and follow WrestlingMiddle, because that's where all the polls will be held. We have a series of 12 categories.
Let's go.
Let's read them off.
Can I read them off in my announcer voice?
Sure.
Here are your end of year awards categories. Category number 1, 2024 Breakout Star. You want to do a little? You want to elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, the 2024 Breakout Star, obviously being a list of 8 wrestlers, which will be narrowed down to 4 once we get to the final side of the bracket, but 8 wrestlers who will potentially have a stellar 2024.
Second category, who had the best 2023 year? I think that one's self-explanatory.
Yeah, who had the best year? I argue all the time between MJF and Will Ospreay, but Seth Rollins is a good argument too.
Category 3, surprise of the year.
Oh yeah, there's some good nominees in that category too, like Edge's return and
CM Punk coming back to WWE.
Oh yeah, that happened. Next category.
Category number 4, match of the year.
There's some good ones in there.
There are some good ones. Of course, I'm going to throw Dragunov in there, but it's probably not going to win. Number 5, character of the year. Tony Storm.
This one is for the best gimmick, the best persona.
I want to say
Tony Storm is a nominee.
90% of this is going to be AEW. Not that WWE doesn't have good characters, it's just they haven't had standout characters this year.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, storyline of the year.
Yeah. Bloodline included, Better Than You Baby included.
That's going to be the top 2.
My coffee burps included.
Number 7, pay-per-view of the year.
Don't even need to explain that one.
Number 8, woman of the year.
Yes. Individually, which woman had the best year?
Number 9, man of the year.
Just take out the woe. Just take out the woe.
Number 10, best wrestler of the year regardless of gender.
Yes, this is the following category of both. We will take the best 4 of the women and the men and pick out the best wrestler of the year regardless of the gender. Equality.
Number 11, best heel.
Yeah, the most villainous villain in wrestling this year.
And number 12,
my favorite.
Best hair. I mean, workhorse.
There you go. Best workhorse. That's my favorite category because, look at the people who deserve to be the best 2023, deserve to be 2024 breakout star because they put in the most work.
And I'm gonna throw in. I feel like some people might agree with this. Some people might laugh at this. I feel like Dominic's a possible.
He is actually a nominee. He appears on all 3 WWE programs weekly. So, this is how it works out. The nominees will be polled out into 8 people into 2 separate polls per subject. So,
per X's or Twitter's
per
limitations.
X's. For example, 2024 breakout star. We'll have a poll with 4 of the nominees. We'll have a second poll with the other 4 nominees. The best 4 total overall at the final week before our New Year's episode will be the last poll, and you will then there vote. It'll be a fun time. And then New Year's, that will be the next time you and I do an episode together.
Yeah, what you got coming down the pipeline?
Oh my god, dude, it's fucking busy. Going to fucking Dallas this next week. Garland and Dallas, whichever you want to call it. I'm gonna be in the DFW for a week and cover AEW and ROH out there. Got an interview with Dewey Frost, independent wrestler out there. Known him for a long time.
Let's go.
Gonna do the show live from there, then come back, take a Christmas break, and then New Year's.
We're gonna do what about the other interview we got? When's that coming?
Which we don't have that scheduled yet, so that's why I haven't brought it up anymore. We're still trying to get some info.
We do have a couple of things like that coming. I know.
Yeah.
Like other than that, you have a couple other videos coming.
Oh my goodness, dude. I've been working on video content a shit ton. I literally have 3 videos on the YouTube channel coming out this week, including the unboxing video for these cards you gifted me for Christmas. Yeah. You guys need to check out what cards I got.
Yeah, you guys, these cards look sick. I didn't think they'd look so sick because I had never seen them before. I just randomly found them at insert large chain store here. But they look sick.
They do. They do. And also, for all the CM Punk marks out there, through the table we're doing a CM Punk series, which I don't know if we're doing part 2 today. I don't know if that'll be the end of it or if it extends to part 3. I think that really determines how far we get into it today, but you can go ahead and listen to part 1 now.
Yeah, solo from this man. He, I don't know if I'll get as heated as you expected I will, but I think some things will be said.
Interesting. And then, of course, Matchbox for the paid subscribers. But I don't even know what our next Matchbox is. I just know our last one was the Ring Genitals episode.
The Ring Genitals. I told you I wouldn't do it, and you made me do it.
This was a fun episode today. And before I even sign off, I just last time want to thank our sponsors for this episode, Warp Zone. Because the Warp Zone, let me say, because I didn't even realize that. They have in their name.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of Warp Zones. If you want to look them up on Facebook specifically, Warp Zone Vintage Toys.
Yes.
Like, that's the only way you're going to find them. And I think it's separated. It's Warp Zone rather than one whole word.
Look for the Space Jam looking logo. Or you can just go downtown to 405 North Grand. But special thanks to them.
Thank you guys. You guys awesome. We love going there.